it's Claire here from the Wellness Project. So welcome to today's video, which is about learning how to kick up into a handstand. So it's really important that I tell you up front right now that it actually took me about 6 months to kick up on my own into a handstand during yoga class. So I was never one of those children that used to just cartwheel for the sake of it, do handstands and all sorts of gymnastics things. I was always a little bit too afraid as a child, and that fear carried all the way through to my adult years as well, especially in yoga class. After a while though, when I finally did learn how to kick up, that feeling of just hanging out upside down, my perspective totally inverted, balancing on my hands, I've never felt more strong, invigorated, energized, alive, happy, exhilarated, all those sorts of words. So it's something that I definitely encourage everyone to give a shot. And I know that some people may have never practiced yoga, and that's okay. Maybe you were a handstander as a child. But of course, use your own common sense here as to whether this is right for you today. And maybe kicking up to the wall is not quite where you're at, and you want to just stay with the preparation pose that I give you. Of course, your common sense is invaluable here to understand if any neck, back, wrist or arm issues are a problem here and you're going to get in the way. But if all of that aside, and it's just purely fear, then this is definitely something for you. The beauty of a yoga practice is when you break through boundaries and fears that you have around a certain posture, it also starts to translate into the rest of your life. You start to break through boundaries and resistance in a whole host of different limiting beliefs, which is why I personally am so passionate about yoga. Okay, so I'm going to guide you through. We're going to go into a prep pose first, and then we're going to come into kicking up with a handstand at the wall. So let's have some fun. And that's exactly what this is all about. So enjoy yourself, and I'll see you soon on the mat. We're going to start in a strengthening pose called half handstand using the wall. So first come up into downward facing dog, heels up the wall. Make sure your hands are directly underneath your shoulders, pressing down through the palms, gripping through the fingertips, ascending the energy from the earth up in towards your shoulders. Slowly step your right leg up, straight legs, and in line with your hips, gazing towards your fingertips. Press into your left foot strongly as you raise your right leg. Now this might be too much for you today, so just stay with the first pose until you feel confident and strong there. We're aiming for a right angle position here and experimenting with engaging the core to raise the legs up, alternating from the left to right. Take a moment here, come down, rest in child's pose, steady your breath, and then we'll prepare to turn around facing the wall in the opposite direction so that we can come up and practice into handstand, kicking up at the wall. So come up onto your hands and knees, downward facing dog again, and make sure your hands, if you're a beginner, are at least 20 centimeters away from the wall. You're aiming to walk forward here so your hips are high and your shoulders above your wrists. Step your feet together, raise your right leg, and start to do little bunny hops, keeping the left knee soft and swinging your right leg up. Now the key here is that your right leg, the kicking leg, stays straight. The left leg with the left knee has a light bend in it. So you should feel light and bouncy. So let's try again, but this time perhaps seeing if you can kick all the way up, big kick, and rest your heels onto the wall, taking the left leg to follow you. Gaze forward, press down into the hands, ascending the energy up, rib cage in, belly strong. And then when you're ready to come down, see if you can slow the movement down, floating in the air. Take a moment here in a standing forward bend, hold on to the elbows. And then when you're ready, just ease back into a downward facing dog, and let's try that again. So remember, practice makes perfect here. Keep trying. Don't worry about whether it's flawless in the beginning or not. Just have some fun with it and see if you can kick up with a nice big swooping arc. Your arms are your foundation here, so press down to ascend energy up. And again, slow down with the descent through the legs. And from here to finish off, downward facing dog, and then back to child's pose. So you can keep replaying this video, practice handstands as much as possible, and you'll start to enjoy the benefits of this beautiful inversion. Thanks so much. Namaste.